Welcome back. You're listening to Toni Lontis and Kez Wiggum St. George, and this is our show, A Conversation with Kez, where we talk to the world's most amazing authors and each and every week about their writer's journey and their stories and their books. Now, if you're listening live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, or Twitch, we have Payo ready and waiting to respond to your comments and to send you the links that you need about anything that we talk about on the show. And for those that you want to watch a replay of the show, you'll find us on Binge TV Networks USA, Hero Go TV USA, and the Toni TV channel app on all Roku, LG, and Samsung smart TVs across the planet. Now, today, just a reminder that Kez co-hosts this show with me, and as you know, Kez is an international best-selling author. The other bit that you might not know about Kez is that she does amazing video reviews for books, and she also helps aspiring authors to write their books, get their books right, and help plan their books. So if you want to talk to an expert, I encourage you to get in contact with Kez and let her help you get that book idea off the ground. Now, today's guest is Susu Smitzh. And Susu was born and grew up in South Asia. She now lives in Sydney, Australia. She's married, a mother of one daughter. She likes drawing, Sudoku, watching documentaries, cooking, and 50% discounts. Don't we all love 50% discounts? And this today is her very first book. Now, Susu wrote this book called Don't Do It, She Likes It. If you read this is a story about you, written by you, from you, and for you. And we all know social media has changed the world. It's not just part of your life, but it becomes part of your life. Social media motto, do not judge, lest be judged or photoshopped with filtered photoshopped photos. Social media is so powerful, it can turn nice guys into thugs, strangers into lovers, and your milkman into a lover, or vice versa. What you post there is limitless. Duck face selfies, possum face selfies, egg holder mouth selfies, all photoshopped. The limits are your internet connection, and if your partner finds out your passwords, look out. Come and discover the good, the bad, the funny side of social media, where you can see what everyone's bathroom looks like. Welcome to the show, Susu. And good morning, Kez.
Good morning. And good morning, Susu.
Thank you. Good morning to you too.
What's it like over there?
Oh, it's beautiful morning in Sydney, Australia. It's beautiful. It's almost summer here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the weather was kind of weird. I think this is going to be stormy weather in the afternoon, also the rest of the week. But at the moment, it's a beautiful day. Sorry,
Lovely.
I'm a bit confused. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a question for you. Let's kick it off.
Okay.
Let's start at the very beginning, Susu, and we're going to talk about your journey up to this point in time. So what can you tell the listening audience about you and why you decided to write a book?
Well, I'm an artist. I love cooking and Sudoku. I'm just like everybody else. Just happened to me that I'm a published author now. And this is my first book. 10 years ago, I would have never thought that someday I'd become a published author. I decided to write a book in late 2017 because I found people are more expressive on social media than real life.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen so many social books around, but I had not seen a humorous one, so I decided to make one. I used to, yeah. And there are so many materials you can get from social media. So yeah, that's how I decided to write a book, especially after seeing so many posts about politics, safety, and all those dramas on social media. So I think, yeah, I decided to make one.
It sounds like it's a book I would like to read.
Well,
Does it have...
I put it in humorous way.
Yeah, well, I hope so. It's because Facebook and everyone that goes on it, it's sort of gone a bit crazy, hasn't it?
So many people fight, especially about politics, where everybody turns so romantic. I'm being sarcastic here. Yeah,
that's right. Be sarcastic.
It's also social media reveal the characteristic of the person, reveal the personality of the person of social media. That's why I decided to write a book.
And who published the book for you?
Austin Macaulay.
Okay.
They've been fantastic.
Pardon?
They've been fantastic. Austin Macaulay.
Oh, fabulous. Toni, do you have a question?
I do, Susie. So, seeing as this was your first book, can you take the audience through the process that you used in your creative writing? So, where did you start? How did you get through the book? And what was that process like for you? Because you wanted to write the humorous side of the problems with social media, yeah?
Yeah, that's true. Well, I've done so many research. I've done so many readings about social media. Well, in general, social media is a good thing. It's a digital communication that makes our lives easier. It can help business, government, family stay connected, and many things. And social media is like a blank canvas. What we're going to paint on it, on our canvas, is up to us. So that's how I got the idea, because it's so colorful. It's only the media, but it's the intention of the people who post it on social media. They make social media so colorful and so interesting. I get the idea.
Absolutely.
I get the idea after I saw so many the bold and the beautiful dramas on social media, but on the side, there's also a good story. It's like positive, uplifting news. Then all the happy news, uplifting news, positive news, and where people are really up together to help people in need. Yeah.
And Susu, did you find from your experience that it was the positive stuff or the negative stuff that most prompted you to write the book?
It started because I start to see the falling out in people. It's not. Makes. I say it's not reunite people, but it divide people. It's like, especially in politics,
yes,
like Group A or Group B, and they're all trying to convince the others that they are right. And what makes it interesting,
yes,
social media is like, what I say is like Dunning-Kruger personal. Have you ever heard of Dunning-Kruger?
Yes.
Dunning-Kruger effect?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Where they overestimate their knowledge and skill, but they have little to no experience. It's like a clown making a reflection of himself in the mirror, like a professor. It's like that.
Yes. Kez has got the next question for you, Susie. Well done so far.
You've got a funny sense of humour. When you found your
I
your
love it.
when you found your publisher, Susie Austin Macaulay, how did you go about finding it? What was the process like to find your publisher?
Well, I was looking for publishers. And it just happened to me. I just saw it on internet, and I read the reviews. It's a good reviews, many good reviews about Austin Macaulay. So I decided to submit it my book. Within 2 weeks, they gave me green light and everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, everything was fine. But there's a delay due to COVID. It took them more than a year to publish my book.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. So how long has your book been out in public?
About a year.
Oh, yeah.
A year and 2 months. Yeah.
And you've enjoyed the process of being a published author?
I am.
Good. Very good.
It's like the legacy we leave. If when we die as an author, we give something. We leave a legacy. That's the book. That's our book.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I guess
Absolutely.
And I guess people can find you on all the digital outlets as well.
Yeah.
Very good. So it sounds like, excuse me, it sounds like Austin Macaulay has treated you very, very well.
Oh, they're wonderful. They've been wonderful. They've been very helpful. And they help you along the journey. Well, there are many publishers out there, but I highly recommend it for a new author, Austin Macaulay.
I must have a look.
Susu, I was just going to say, are Austin Macaulay based in the UK?
Yes, based in UK.
They are.
Yeah. Canary Wharf.
With them based in the UK, was it easy for you to coordinate the different elements of the book? So, editing, you've got great illustrations and the formatting. You obviously did all of that over the internet?
Yes. I see I've got no problem at all with Austin Macaulay. The only problem is the delay, 1 year.
Yes.
But I understand we are having challenging times, especially then in 2020, UK was having bad day because of COVID.
Yes. Susu, you talk about the concept of leaving a legacy. So are you happy that your daughter will read your book one day?
Oh, yeah, very happy. Very happy. Very happy.
I think we all carry on.
Do you think that social media will have changed by the time she's using it in her own life?
I think still the same. Social media is still the same. Well, I just read about social media. Now people are leaving Facebooks. They are more inclined to TikTok, especially the teenagers, and even Snapchat. Even now, teenagers are leaving Snapchat. Yeah, but I think still the same. Social media is still the same. It just people intention and purpose to join social media are different. We all are the same basically, but only our perspective are different.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. So, Susu, would you like to tell us one of the stories, a funny one from your book?
Oh, this is quite challenging. Based on the true story, well, there was this post about this guy, good-looking guy, young, healthy, fit. We knew that he photoshopped himself, and we knew that he photoshopped his, with 6 abs. But we noticed something was missing. So I left a comment, dude, I think you're missing one. You forgot to put your belly button back. People knew that. He photoshopped himself with the 6 abs, but no belly button because he forgot.
And what was his response, Suzu? What did he say?
He didn't reply. It's too obvious. It's too obvious.
So, Suzu,
like
have you become like a social media detective, finding out who is inauthentic or photoshopping their photos on social media? Have you become like a social media detective?
I say I'm more observing about people on social media. Mostly, I don't leave a comment or post on social media, but I observe what they post, what they write, and it's quite interesting.
Yes, it would be.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's more I'm more listener than posting all the time.
Yep.
There are people that posting all the time non-stop. I've never done that.
I'm too busy to do that. I post once a day and that's it. I'm off. So if you think that social media is sort of going the way it is, what do you think brings out the worst in people?
Cyberbullying, no doubt about that. Cyberbullying. Because 36% of social media users have experienced cyberbullying, especially in teenagers, 60% of them. And 17% of teenagers have experienced someone spread false rumor about them. And 10% of adults in Australia, according to the Sydney Morning Herald, have experienced cyberbullying. And it leads to having a suicidal thought, depression, anxiety, many things, mental health disorder.
Yes.
And 61%, this is according to what I read, actually it's in my book.
Yes.
61% why people get bullied because their appearance. 25%.
Of their appearance, did you say?
Yeah. 25%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 25%
because
of academic achievement.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Those statistics.
No, that's amazing.
I didn't know those statistics.
Yeah. So if you don't look good, they're going to bully you.
Well, according to what I read, what I read is more about people need what I read actually recently just there's a post about Victoria Beckham, and what people wrote in the comment is too many Botox, too many nip and tuck, just judging her appearance. It's like she's done something with her face. She's damaging her face. That's what people wrote on the post. Yeah.
Be nice if some people minded their own business, wouldn't it?
Because I think people found it. I found that people are more aggressive when they leave a comment behind the computer screen. But if you face to face, they are more laid back, more well reserved, and more polite because
That's right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, people do have a way of hiding behind the screen.
It's true. It's true.
Toni.
Suzu, with all those pitfalls of social media we've talked about, it also has the capacity for great good, doesn't it? Can you tell us of some of the really good stories from social media and your experience?
The power of kindness. It's like a simple thing. It's like giving compliments, help others, words of recognition and praise others when they have good news. And I have seen so many feel good stories on social media where social media users really up to help a homeless or a janitor or giving hope for the destitute people. Recently, I just saw a post, a feel-good story. This man gave this homeless man a house, a food, and a food truck. It's a feel-good story.
Wow, that's amazing.
And it restored the faith of humanity. And we still believe in kindness. We still believe in love. There's still so many people, good people out there.
I think basically every human is good. We all have good inside us. But I think, personally, I think that Facebook has allowed the bully to hide behind the screen and come out. I mean, we have so much cyberbullying as it is, and when you read these feel-good stories, Susu, it just makes you feel it is worthwhile. I mean, I talk to a lot of people about their books, and each and every one of them has only got nice things to say and kind things to say about other authors. But when it comes down to the fact that you do get posts on Facebook and on all different social media platforms that say that are unkind, and it doesn't do anybody any good.
It's true. I say it's
Do you think that under the freedom of speech that we enjoy in Australia, do you think that allows people to be mean and bully just because they clothe it in the idea of freedom of speech? Do you think that we need more education around with freedom comes responsibility, particularly around social media?
Well, that's a good question because, we are entitled to express, we have a right to express our point of view. And we also have to respect others people's point of view, including differences point of view. Sometimes when somebody disagree with us, they accuse us of being a bully or being a socialist or communist. But what I like to say
it's not really, it's just a difference of opinion, isn't it? It's not actually bullying in that instance. It's just a difference. And if we accepted that as humans, we're all going to have differences of opinion, but we can do that respectfully, can't we, Susan?
Yeah.
It's true. And we all have a right to express our point of view, and I never force my point of view to anyone. And I never think if I have speech, if they call it speech, freedom of speech, if I can express my point of view, I've never thought myself that I'm more superior than others. But some people, when they express their point of view, they think they are more superior than us. And they force their point of view towards us. And if we disagree, sometimes we get, blocked, or we got called, So I say it's about mutual respect. It's about emotional maturity. As an adult, we accept everyone's point of view. Not Even husband and wife have differences, but we still respect each other.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Respect has a huge part to play in it, Susie. It's
Yeah,
respecting that another person has a point of view or has an opinion online or offline. And this, personally, I often hold a dinner party just for the fact that I have some interesting people come around and I listen to their point of view. I'm more of a listener than a talker most of the time, and I love hearing their different opinions, as long as it's said respectfully. Once they get to the table banging stage and the yelling at each other, it's time to go home. But I do enjoy having dinner with, and even on Facebook, watching opinions of other people. And I've also seen quite a maturity grow up in some of the teenagers too that are on Facebook and different platforms. Some of the teenagers that I know as they're up and coming authors, the maturity is amazing.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So it's not always the young ones that turn out to be the bullies. I mean, I've personally been bullied by a woman in her 50s, and she just wouldn't stop. Until she felt that she'd done some damage. And I just thought, that's just a silly point of view. I mean, I don't take any notice of it, but I mean, she was in her 50s and she decided that I was the one. But I've never had much trouble, touch wood, but I'm just amazed at some of the young teenagers that you would expect the silliness from teenagers, not from adults, and it seems to be reversed sometimes.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes when
Susu, did you?
Yes.
Sorry, Susu. Did you find in your research that the adults were more badly behaved on social media than the teenagers? What did you find?
What did I find? I think mostly adults. Not mostly, not all of them, especially when it comes to politics, when we disagree.
Yes.
Oh,
if I have different point of view with someone, if it doesn't mean that I hate him or I hate them, but
no,
they look at me, it's like I'm their enemy. I said, it's not like that. I respect whatever they want, whatever their opinion. And I leave it like that. I have mine, I have yours, and we respect each other, including differences, point of view. It is about respect.
It is. Yeah. And I agree with you, Susu. I think there's more adults than teenagers out there who are doing the disrespect on Facebook, whether you call it bullying, whatever name you want to put to it. I do think there's more adults out there that think, oh, well, here's a platform for me to spout off, and it's not respectful at all.
Susu, do you think that, speaking of politics, do you think that the government should have more protections around social media in terms of, say, Facebook? And I watched a documentary on the weekend about Facebook and what they allow on their platform. Seeing that you've just written this book on social media, do you think that the governments of countries should be more proactive in ensuring that the social media platforms don't propagate or instigate things that cause other humans damage? So be that bullying, be that calls to riots, those sorts of things. What are your thoughts, Susu?
Well, I think the government should interfere, especially about cyberbullying, because it's like pedophile is a crime, and they have to, after they go to jail, they have to wear a GPS ankle bracelet. They are not allowed to go and meet the children. I think all the cyberbullying are not allowed to touch any social media, or banned permanently from social media, banned permanently for using internet. If they break that rule, put them back in
Yeah.
jail. Because
Yes.
cyberbullying also causes teenagers to
Yes.
kill themselves, suicide. It happens. So I
It
think
does.
it's a crime. It's a crime. I say it's not just, we have different point of view. It's not that. It's a crime. It harms people's life, especially teenagers.
Yes.
It's a crime.
I agree. Yeah. It is a crime.
Well,
So-
they say government promoting, safe internet for our family, for our children, but they let Taliban using Twitter. I still can't understand that.
Yes.
So, Susu, getting off the fact that cyberbullying is there and most probably will always be there, is always going to be an outlet for someone to sneak in and think, right, I'm gonna cause some harm. But can you tell us some powerful stories on social media that really can make us sit up and take notice? What are some of those stories on the media?
About cyberbullying?
No, about some good stuff. Let's get off the cyberbullying and let's get on to some good stuff.
Oh, good stuff. Recently, it's not in Australia social media, but it's Indonesia's social media, where this family couldn't afford to pay rent and they have to be evicted because they don't have any money at all.
Yeah.
But because of the power of social media, people rally up, get the fund for this family, and they use the fund to buy the family home.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Take children to school. And there's also another, well, not in Australia, in Indonesia, there was a post of this father carrying a child. Well, he's homeless because he doesn't have money, for transportation. He walked miles and miles and hours just to go to the hospital.
Wow.
But in Indonesia, because hospital there, if you don't have any money, we don't care. We don't want you here. And there was one doctor posted this father, and it gained attention from social media users in Indonesia. So they give this father, better treatment in the hospital. Give them money to go home, bought them, I think, train ticket to go home, so they don't have to walk hours and hours. There are many good stories on social media. Many.
Yeah, there is. I find the one that I really like is, well, I don't really like, but the fires over east, the huge fires, and they go onto social media and they raise funds for the animals and the people that are homeless made through the fires have made homeless. I think that's where social media comes into its own. It's very good for that sort of thing, raising awareness of other people's difficulties. I think it's marvelous.
Yeah, that's true.
So, Susu, this is your very first book. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So what was it like? Now, I'm a writer and I know that Toni's a writer. So what was it like for you to write, put it together, the thought process? What was it like for you for the very first time?
I'm quite proud of myself that I could write a book. 10 years ago, I would have never thought I'd write a book. But when you have an idea what you're going to write, you just go with the flow, and from those ideas, it becomes a book.
Okay, so when I begin to write a book, I do a bit of journaling, like I want to know what I'm going to write about. I want to know the depth of the story, characters, etc., etc. I know you must already have characters in your book because I write fiction. But so what was it like to actually sit down at your desk and think, I'm going to write a book? What's it going to be about? Tell me the process you went through.
Oh, the process. I have to chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3 is, first of all, is about people when they talk about politics, and then second is about selfie, and then third is about when people bragging about their relationship. It is a humorous book. And then the fourth, there's so many topics you can get from social media. There was one of my friends asked me, why you write about social media? Do you believe in social media? I said, if you ask me if I believe in social media posts, it's like you asking me if Paris Hilton a virgin or not. So, so because it's story about you. I said, why me? I said, because what you wrote on social media inspired me to write a book. And there you go. It became a book.
Right. But how long did it take you to write the book?
Actually, 18 months.
18 months.
18 months, yeah.
And did you find that you'd go on social media every day and you really had to study your subject? Did that come into it as well?
Yes. Yeah.
So how was that process? How did you perform that process?
I performed the process is, I think it's quite easy when you know the ideas. I think the most challenging one is when finding the new idea for humor to put jokes in my social media. That's the most challenging one. But if it's without the jokes, just easy. Well, it's not that easy, but to find a joke for my social media book is quite challenging.
Yeah, it would be. Because, you really do have to appreciate that, even when I write, not every, people that buy my book, not everybody's going to enjoy the way I write. And they might think, well, I won't buy from that author again. I didn't enjoy it. God forbid they think that, but it does happen. And, you must have thought the same, that what can I write that, 100% of all the different nationalities in Australia are going to enjoy this. Did that go through your mind?
Yeah, it goes to my mind. It goes to my mind because what I found, because I came from Asia, what seems funny for Australian people, not all funny for Asian people, and what seems funny, for Asian, it's not really accepted by Australians. So I have to, not joke about. I have to write something that all people can understand.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
so, with writing a book, you just have to realize that the majority of the people that buy it will like it, but there will be some that don't like it. And all authors have that problem. We all go to bed thinking, what I have done it better. But by the sound of it, you are very, very, you're very confident. And I love that in an author that's really confident and says, I've done this good book, and I want to read it. I think that's marvelous. So good on you.
Thank you. Well, look at the writer of Squid Game. He got their idea 10 years ago, but people kept rejecting his idea till Netflix picked it up, and it's a huge phenomenon in the world. It's a huge success. Squid Game.
Yeah. Toni.
Susu, do you think that you'll write more books? And if so, what do you think they'll be about?
I say I'm in the middle of writing my second book. It's about the origin of life.
Yay!
And the genre is still the same. It's humor. I'm not really good in romantic stuff, I'm hoping. I'm married, that's why.
Susu, that's gorgeous. I'm so glad you're writing humour. That's awesome.
I think we can all agree there. And I think anyone that reads it, if you wrote that, would just have a giggle about that, because, romance and marriage are two different things. I'm quite convinced. So, Susie, the drawings that illustrate the cover of your book, are they yours? And
Yeah,
if
they
so,
might.
okay, and if so, is this the first time you've put drawings into the public eye? Now, you said you're an artist, so, and this is a very interesting subject for me because I'm about to illustrate one of my own books as well. So how did you go about, I mean, I have no idea how to illustrate and then put it into a book. I mean, I don't know what you do. So tell me how you went about illustrating it and then putting it into the book.
Well, it comes with the idea when the selfies goes, when the Photoshop goes wrong,
Yep.
because that's how I illustrate. Well, come the idea how to draw for my cover, for my book cover. Well, then the idea because people look better in social media than in real life. So this is what you see on social media, and this is what you see in real life. It's like too much Photoshop. So if you become a person, how could they find you? If you Photoshop your photo too much, it's like that. That's the message.
Yeah. So, but when you did your illustrations, did you actually? How did you put that onto this is the part that I get stuck on myself. I do my illustrations and I do the writing like all on a page, and then how do I put that? How do I do the illustration on the page? Do I do it all in one? Or I find that an interesting concept myself. Do you do it all in one, or do you do this illustration, then write, and then join the two?
When the book finished, I started to draw, to sketch. And I asked my friends, I think it will be good for my book cover. I asked people around me, and they said, "Yeah, that's a good idea. The drawing is good." Well, it's not really my typical of drawing. I like to draw people, especially the face. I say I'm an amateur artist, so it's not really my typical of drawing, but it's just for my book cover that associated with the social media life.
Yeah, it works well.
Thank you.
I think, Susie, that it brings an authenticity and a personal touch to the book by using something you've created specifically for that book. Do you think that you'll do your own illustrations in the next book about the origins of life?
Yes, I'm going to do that. Well, first, when I submitted those drawings, I was not really sure if Author Macaulay would give me an approval. But they're happy with the drawings. They're happy with the drawings, so yeah, it gives me confidence. They're happy with the drawings.
Good. Yeah, they're lovely and simple, and you can clearly get the idea of what the book's about, and I just think they're lovely, a lovely way to tell the story of the book on the front cover of the book.
The story of the book. Were you talking about the lion?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Thank you. Actually, some people thought it's a bit too quirky for my book cover, but majority said, it's good. Yeah. But just a few thought that it was a bit quirky for my book. But I
said it was, quirky is good for an experienced author. Where I'm sitting from and talking to you, quirky is good, Susie. It's an attraction that people don't, when we go into the library or when we want to buy a book, that's what we look at, is the cover first. The cover always attracts me first.
It's true. It's true.
And then I look at the blurb on the back, and people don't know that the back page is also for the author to write about, so they don't, you can put illustrations there as well. You can do a border, you can do panels, you can do all sorts of things on the back cover. So I think people realize that, or authors realize that that is yours also, that the book belongs to you, and you can draw all over it if you want to. But I just find it interesting, your approach. I was myself a little bit confused about how I went about it, but now you've explained it to me, so I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing and hope my publisher likes it.
I was going to say, because often you find that the creative people of the world have more than one creative outlet. So with both of you, there's the writing and there's also the drawing, and I think that leads to a uniqueness. And I'm guessing that's what you want to create, Susie, is you want to create unique books with unique covers about interesting ideas, yeah?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Well, actually, the message of my book is social media is only a digital communication. Well,
yes,
to share. But what you post on social media does not really change the world, but our action does, as Mother Teresa said. If you want to change the world, go home and love your family. And I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe that so it's not so our first school is our home. Our first love is our home. So pay attention more to real life than social media, because when you see anywhere, people just attach with their mobile phone.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes.
Anyway, it's like they forgot about the books nowadays. It's about, the real attach is like, it's like glued on their hand, especially young generation. That's the message. You pay attention more to the real life.
Yes, it's very important. I agree. I agree with you totally. I watch, I live in a suburb of quite young mums and dads, and I don't see any one of them not walking down the road. They're walking their babies in the sunshine, sure, but even the babies have got laptops and God knows what now. They've got iPhones. And you think, when's it going to stop? This is ridiculous. There's no toys. There's no looking at the leaves falling from trees. There's no let's bake together or let's play together. It's everyone's on their phones, and I find it, I don't understand it because I'm a senior, but I just feel sorry for everybody that's so attached to their phone that they can't watch their baby smile at what's going on around them.
It's true. It's like I saw so many families when they're having dinner together or having lunch together, they pay more attention to the mobile phone than communicating to each other. To the point I was thinking, would they communicate through social media to each other? Or because I think it's not good parenting. I think if you're a good parent, you should teach your family to respect others, to respect family. Put your phone down when you're having family conversation or family dinner. Put your social media away. Just talk to mom and dad. Respect, people.
I agree.
I think it's very rude if you keep playing with the social media where mom, dad, grandpa, grandma are there having lunch or dinner together. And sometimes when people, I witnessed this a lot when the waitress asking, what you having for lunch today? And these people keep looking at the mobile phone without looking at the waitress. I think it's quite rude.
It is quite rude.
Yeah.
So when I see people doing this sort of thing, Susie, I want to say something, but it's not my place. But I do want to say, look, put your phone down, and even at going shopping, they pay their bill. They're looking at their phone. They just hand their card over, and the machine goes ding, and they walk out again. And they're still on their phone. They haven't realised it. Well, I suppose they do. They've bought the product and they're walking out the shop, but it seems the phone is now an extension of their life.
It's true. It's like you can't live without social media. Actually, it's like addiction to social
That's
media
right.
is neglecting the real life. Pay more attention to social media, which is not healthy at all.
No, it's not. No. Toni, you have a
Susu,
question.
Susu, I'm guessing that you will teach your daughter about the importance of managing social media and not social media managing or controlling her life.
Oh yes, I do. Not allowed to have social media till she's 18, and I'm the only one who knows the password, so she has to ask my permission if she wants to use Wi-Fi. Yeah.
And is she accepting of that? Is she understanding why Mum has a powerful perspective about social media? Does she understand that it's important to keep her safe and to protect her mental health until she's at an age where she has a bit more understanding?
Yeah, she understands that. Yeah, she's wonderful. She has. She's wonderful. She's just an angel. She's a blessing to us. Thank God for that. Yeah.
That's wonderful to hear, because I know that it can cause quite a lot of angst in family, and if she understands that it's for her own good and that Mum just wants to keep her protected until she, can deal with stuff, that's a wonderful idea. Girls, we're almost out of time. I'm going to throw the last question to Kez and let you ask Susie the last question.
Okay, Susu, what are you working on now, and where can people buy your books to connect with you?
Well, I'm working for my second book.
Yes.
It's already more than 75,000 words.
Wow.
It's almost there. And
A lot of words.
My books you can find it on Amazon. In Australia, you can find it on DMAX, Barnes and Noble.
Okay.
I think you can find it anyway, online.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Susie, I'm really glad that you were brave to come on the show today. And for those audience that know that live interviews can be challenging, and for many of our authors, it's quite daunting to appear live on radio TV shows. And so I actually have to particularly point out Susu's bravery and courage to come on and talk about her book. And it's a wonderful book. It has a lovely illustration, and I encourage you to seek it out, find it, and connect with Susu. We have the links for Susu's book and her the way that you can connect with her, and I encourage you to do so. As Susu has told us, she's working on or almost finished her second book, so we can't wait to talk to you again when that comes out, Susu. Kez, thank you so much for coming on the show and co-hosting with me. Susu, thank you so much for sharing with us today about your book on social media. We're just delighted to have you on the show with us today. And that, my audience, is our lot for this week. Kez and I will be back next week with another amazing author, but don't forget to jump on and check out Susu Smitz's latest book before she gets to launch the next one. Her book is called Don't Do It, She Likes It. It's all about social media, and it has a wonderful humorous note throughout the book. Susu, thank you so much. Kez,
welcome.
wonderful as ever. We look forward to hearing about your every success in the future, Suzu. And
thank
that,
you.
my audience, is your lot for this week. Bye for now.
Bye, Susan.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And
Our pleasure.